Hi, it's Kim again, and I wanted to just show you or attempt to do a tutorial on how to make a rose out of CP. I have always kind of made cakes for people, but not really the rosy type, but more like children's cakes. So I have like some of the equipment ever since I was a little kid, a teenager. That was something I was interested in. And so I didn't have any botanical roses, and I needed to make some of my rose soap that, you know, it needed something on the top. And so I thought, well, let me just go ahead and see if I can try to make some roses out of cold process, using it like, you know, like as if it was frosting, buttercream. And so here's what you need. You'll need a number 7 nail head, and they look like this, and they have this little nail head like this, so when you have it in your hand you can spin it as you use the bag to do the piping. You'll need a number 68 in order to do the leaves, and a 104 for the rose itself. And then you'll need to have some wax paper or some parchment, or this is butcher paper. You know, we all have butcher paper. And I like to have a piece of styrofoam, because when you are working with one, when you need to put the bag down, because sometimes it gets greasy or you have to slide the stuff down, you can set this into the styrofoam and you don't have to worry about it falling over if you're halfway in the middle of making a rose. Okay? So let's see if we can do it. I don't know if this stuff is firmed up enough. But anyway, you take, and there's a wider area at the bottom. You take that part, and that's always facing at the bottom, and the thinner section is what's going to be towards the top. And you just put a little bit on there, and see, this is exactly what I'm talking about. And then you take your piece of paper, and with the shiny side up, because you want to be able to remove your rose once it's set up and hard after it's processed. And so then you're going to take and put the wide edge at the bottom, and you're just going to kind of spin the nail into that type of a shape, into like a little cone shape. Now, on a normal rose, when you make them for cakes, you would do 3 rows of this, and then it works in an odd number. So you would do 3 petals around, 5 petals around, and 7 petals around. But I did some of those last night trying to make a video, and they just were so huge that I don't want them cut up when I do my slices in my log. So I'm trying to make them smaller. So let's see what we can do. So you just kind of wave up, and wave up. Okay? Then you're going to go in the opposite little place there, wave over, and you're going to kind of tilt your tip towards the outside, so that way the petals will fall out. Okay? And see, I just want to do some small ones like this. I'll just add an extra little leaf there, an extra little petal there, because I feel like it needs it. But then you take, and you can take your green for your leaf if you want to add leaves to it. And this is a real easy one to do. And all you have to do is, with it being flat, you just take and push in and pull out. Push in and squeeze and pull out. See? And it gives it that little bit of a greenery on the side. And then you just pull that off and set it down, because you're going to want them to, process just like you would cure anything else. A regular batch of soap. So you're going to do this again. You're going to put a little bit of smidge on there of the CP. Shiny side up. Set that on there. With the wide edge towards the bottom. You're going to take and put the tip down and make yourself a little cone. Then you're going to go 1, oops, see, and it's real forgiving, 2, 3, and then point it out. And see, just to me, that in itself is pretty. It looks like a rose. I mean, you know it's a rose. It's, abstract. And then you take your greenery again and just put it wherever you feel that you want to have. I'm going to put one here for a change to cover up my little boo-boo there. And so see, there it is. I think it looks like a rose. It's pretty. I mean, and you see, it's not like I'm doing some kind of magic here. It really is basically simple. You just have to get your stuff, like practice. I mean, have some ready that you're going to just practice with, and you'll be just amazed at how simple it is. You're going to put a little smidge. Put that on there. Take your bag. Make sure that, you have your air bubbles out and it's twisted off. Got your fat open area at the bottom, touching down. Spin the nail. And then you're going to go 1, 2, 3. And then point your tip towards the outside a little. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? And then you're going to take your leaf, put a little leaf on there, and there you go. See, if you get too big with them, then you're going to be stuck with too big of roses for just, if you're using a log mold. See, that's why I like that styrofoam. So then you just set that on there. Put the wide part of the tip down, spin it around, and then you're going to go 1, 2, 3. It's like making a U kind of, or upside down, like an arch. And then you're going 1, 2, 3. Point it out. This could probably be a little bit firmer, but I'm afraid last night it kind of got thick on me, and then I was having a hard time getting it out of there, so I decided I wasn't going to let it sit so long. I'll put an extra one right there. And so, there you go. Let's do it again. Little smidge. That's my language there. And you're going to go wide side down, spin the nail, make yourself a little rosette bud right there, and then you're just going to go 1, 2, 3. And then you're going to try to go in between those where you missed. 1, 2, 3. And then I'm just going to add an extra one right there. And so there it is. Okay? And you can take your green, add that. And I mean, they're all different. I mean, but that's the way nature is. I mean, nothing's perfect. It's supposed to have imperfection. That's what makes it interesting. And I mean, you could use, I just wanted to try something different, and I figured that this stuff is almost like frosting, buttercream, so why wouldn't it work? Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me do one more. 5. Okay. Couple of leaves. There you go. See, then you can just use them as embeds to go on the top of your soap. And let me show you some of the ones I made last night. Now I did pink last night, like a rose color, but then I thought I wanted to try to do like a lavender color. And I have a little bit of ash on the green. I don't know why, just the green mostly. Well, thank goodness I don't want it all over my pink ones. But this fragrance oil I use a lot. It's like it's my interpretation of Stella McCartney dupe, because they stopped selling it at my supplier, so I've had to try to copy it the best I could. This one turned out really cute. Look, that's a pretty one. I need to try to make some this size. So anyway, I had made those, and then I also just made a few, because I had a lot of green left, some of the little leaves that I could stick on top of the batch whenever I make it. And I can just store those, just like you do embeds. But I would probably want to make sure that I put one on every slice of my soap. So let me see if I can do a little one. Wide side down. And then 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. That's cute. I think I'll do some more like that because that's like the perfect size, I think. So it's a total of 5 petals. We're learning here together. And then there's a little leaf and a little leaf. I think that's a perfect size. Get my purple here, lavender, whatever you want to call it, mauve. Little smidge. Wide side down, spin the nail. I'm going to do 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3. I messed that one up a little. And then add my leaf. And there you go, a small little rose. And I wanted to show this because I posted some pictures on a forum and everybody, I wanted to show that it's not like it's some kind of mystery. Anybody can do this. Like I said, I haven't made, I don't really make roses. I have the whole cake decorating set, but I usually do characters. Like, you know, just like character cakes from my nieces and nephews and my friends' kids. And so, even if I've done a wedding cake, it's been done with fresh flowers on top. But the last time I made any roses, I had made them because I was really into shabby chic. And I wanted the white cabinets, and I had brown ones, and so I took all the cabinet doors off. And I'd seen on HGTV where some guy had taken joint compound and had put it through a cake decorating tool. He was a designer and had put it through a cake decorating tool and did this whole Asian scene on a wall, like in a hallway in this house that he redid. And so I thought, okay, well, why can't I do that? Because you know how you see in all that kind of shabby chic stuff where there's like the rose motif and it's a relief that's either carved or it's made out of plaster from the turn of the century, or even the fake stuff that's out now that's copycats. And so I just made up my design, and it had a main little rose, and it had a little branches with some little laid over rose buds and some greenery. And I did a little branch across each of the top of my cabinets while they were laying flat out. I let them dry for a few days, and then I coated them up with some, you know, white paint like shabby chic, and then kind of antiqued them slightly. And they were awesome. I mean, nobody could believe that I'd made them with joint compound and a cake decorating tool, especially like guys when they would come over and go, "What did you do?" But I like to do stuff that's a little bit off the beaten path as far as what you're told you probably can't do. You know, I usually try to push the envelope and come up with ideas, usually because I'm frugal and I just try to make do. And I always call them happy accidents when they work out. So anyway, I just wanted to kind of share with you, and I thought by watching me that you could see that it's not that much of a big deal. Bottom side down, spin it. See, I'm not always the same. That's why there's no rule. And even if all you did was just, see, it's just making those little humps like that. It's not perfect, but when you add that leaf, you know, people know what it's supposed to be. I mean, it's supposed to be a little rose. So, anyway, I just wanted to share that with you and hope that that it helps if you decide to try to do it. And thanks for watching, and have a great evening, and have a happy 4th of July tomorrow, or today. Thank you.